Welcome, wrestling fans, to this WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as we're reviewing Friday Night SmackDown from January 24th, 2025 in Austin, Texas. And we see this SmackDown kicked off with the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, as he comes out to the ring for an interview with Joe Tessitore, and he is pumped up for his championship match coming up at the Royal Rumble, when he finally gets his hands on Kevin Owens. And that would be what Joe Tessitore would ask Cody Rhodes about, as he would say, how does it feel right now knowing that this is only the last few moments that you will be having that WWE Championship belt around your arm there, as they will be taking that championship belt and Kevin Owens' Wing Eagle Championship belt, the old school one that he stole, and they will hang both of those title belts above the ring for their ladder match at the Royal Rumble. But we will see at Saturday night's main event, Shawn Michaels will be the guest administrator for the contract signing of Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes responds saying he feels everyone in this WrestleMania season is going after this title, but to main event WrestleMania, all you need is this title on your shoulder. And he'd also be asked about meeting Kevin Owens face to face at Saturday night's main event for the contract signing, and what would he tell him? As he says, maybe I'd shake his hand, try to be a good guy, but when you press a button and start this BS like using a package pile driver that continues and continues, I'd tell him not to forget I defeated Raw's reigning ring general, and I defeated who is considered one of the greatest champions of my era. And not only that, I'm the QB here. I'm the grandson of a plumber, just like you said, but I'm also the student of Randy Orton way before anyone loved Cody Rhodes. So all I have to say to him is good luck. What a way to kick off Friday Night SmackDown. And then next, backstage, we would see Pretty Deadly trying to talk to DIY as they're trying to get on the same page and figure out a plan, as they're trying to explain to DIY, remember, if we scratch your back, you scratch ours, right? But then we see DIY hates the thought of them questioning their methods, saying, plan? What plan? As they would say that Pretty Deadly says, well, come on, man, you're supposed to help us out, and we got this match coming up here, and we don't know how to deal with Legado del Fantasma. And they go, no, look, as Johnny Gargano explains that he has a match coming up with Apollo Crews that he has to get ready for, so they can't come out to help them at ringside. And Tommaso Ciampa says, you need to handle your business. But as Pretty Deadly was walking away, we'd see they run into Legado del Fantasma, who they've had some issues with over the last few SmackDowns, and they would get to walk away without a word being said by Legado del Fantasma as they just stared down Pretty Deadly. But then we would see up next after this, guys, our first match of the evening, and this would be a tag team match where we would see Motor City Machine Guns go up against the tag team of Pretty Deadly, as they would come out to the ring, and both of these tag teams would definitely put on a show. But we would see the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, get the victory here in this one, as Pretty Deadly did put on a good show and showed off a little bit more athleticism and tag team ability. But in this one, we see the Motor City Machine Guns get the victory as they build momentum to try to get another opportunity at those WWE tag team titles. And guys, in this match, I definitely got to give it a B. I thought Pretty Deadly is definitely stepping up their game in the tag team division, and Motor City Machine Guns are now a staple, as those guys definitely know how to perform in the ring. Next on SmackDown, we would see The Miz meeting with General Manager Nick Aldis in his office, as he's wondering why he's here on the Blue Brand, as Nick Aldis has to break the news to him that he is the newest superstar on the Friday Night SmackDown roster. As he comes to the Blue Brand, this scares the hell out of Miz, because he knows the Wyatt Six is on SmackDown, and he believes Karrion Kross has something to do with this. Up next, we would see Kevin Owens come out and interrupt SmackDown and start yelling at commentator Joe Tessitore, asking him why he didn't get an interview like Cody Rhodes did, telling him that he makes him miss Michael Cole, for crying out loud. But Michael Cole is too busy kissing Pat McAfee's ass to be here, just like everyone is kissing Cody Rhodes' ass. Why does everyone want to be Cody Rhodes' friend? Don't you know what Cody Rhodes does to his friends? Well, I'll tell you, he uses them and betrays his friends. And at the Royal Rumble, I will defeat Cody Rhodes and become the true WWE champion. And then he would disrespect actor Matthew McConaughey, who was in attendance there at Austin, Texas, as he tells Matthew McConaughey, yeah, what are you gonna do? I got this championship belt right here. You don't, and you know what? I'm gonna beat Cody Rhodes just like the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the Texas Longhorns. Ooh, what a bar. But then Jimmy Uso comes out to interrupt Kevin Owens, and he's looking for a fight as he runs down to the ring, and these two start brawling it out before we see a super kick from Jimmy Uso knocking down Kevin Owens, but he would grab his championship belt and roll out of the ring and run away. But after this, we would see General Manager Nick Aldis make the match official for Friday Night SmackDown's main event, as we will see Kevin Owens go one-on-one with Jimmy Uso. And then backstage, we would see General Manager Nick Aldis having a meeting with Carmelo Hayes, who is not happy about this match being set, as he wanted another piece of Jimmy Uso. But because he's upset, we see General Manager Nick Aldis have a solution to this problem, as he invites Carmelo Hayes to be the first opponent of another new arrival for the SmackDown roster. Then we would see walking into the general manager's office the newest superstar for SmackDown, Damian Priest, as he now will take on Carmelo Hayes one-on-one for his first match on the blue brand. Then guys, next up after this, we would have our next match of the evening, as we would have a tag team match in the WWE's women's division, as we would see B-Fab and Michin team up for the first time to take on the tag team of WWE Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green and her partner, her security detail, Piper Niven. And guys, we would see a good back and forth matchup in this, as B-Fab and Michin actually worked pretty good together for their first tag team match in this one, and they would get the victory thanks to Michin in this one, as she pins Chelsea Green and now looks to get in contention for that Women's United States Championship. What a win here. Guys, I gotta give this grade for this match here a C. I think it was a little bit sloppy at first. Definitely seeing Chelsea Green and Piper Niven not really getting on the same page as a tag team in this particular match, but it was nice to see Michin and B-Fab work pretty good together in their first tag team match here, as Michin now puts herself in #1 contendership for that Women's United States Championship. Then guys, next up after this, we'd see a video promo from the GOAT, Charlotte Flair, as she announces her return to WWE and declares for the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble match, by also saying that the GOAT never needs to call themselves the GOAT because they already know. And with her legendary resume and her stacked accolades throughout her WWE career, she won't be touched, as she's coming back to the WWE at the Royal Rumble. Then guys, next up after this, we would see WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton come out to talk to everyone and remind her that everyone at the Royal Rumble is looking to face her, as she's trying to get the center of attention here, saying that they're all trying to compete to go up against her at the main event at WrestleMania. But then to her surprise, we would see Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley, as she shows up, and this scares Tiffany Stratton, as she comes out to actually show Tiffany a little bit respect, saying that she liked what she did to Nia Jax, taking that WWE Championship from her by cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. But she also would remind her that she's the Women's World Champion, which means the Royal Rumble winner in the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble could pick her to go in the main event at WrestleMania. But then we would see Nia Jax and her friend Candice LeRae come out to interrupt them, as Nia Jax reminds everybody that she is the most dominant woman here in the WWE, and she declares herself for the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, and she also declares that she's gonna win it all. But guys, after this, we would also see the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Naomi, come out to interrupt all these ladies as well, as we see Bianca Belair and Naomi declare themselves for the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, dissing Nia Jax a little bit too. But then that would not be all, folks, as we see former Women's World Champion Liv Morgan and her friend and bodyguard Raquel Rodriguez come out to interrupt all these ladies in the ring, as Liv Morgan also declares that she will be entering the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble match, and so will Raquel Rodriguez, as she says Raquel will make sure that she wins the Royal Rumble and main events WrestleMania. But she catches a headbutt from Rhea Ripley, as all of these ladies just start brutally attacking each other inside the ring, before General Manager Nick Aldis of SmackDown would come out and make a 6-woman tag match, as we would see that match up next here on Friday Night SmackDown, as we would see the team of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Naomi go up against Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Liv Morgan. And man, guys, this was one epic matchup where where we would see Liv Morgan get the roll-up victory on Bianca Belair, catching her off guard, and she gets the victory for her team and gains momentum heading into the 2025 Royal Rumble. But guys, I gotta give the grade for this match an A+. I think this was really one of the best matches, if not the best match of the night, as it started out a little sloppy from these ladies as being a 6-woman tag team. You definitely could see that happening, but man, it just got better and better and better. Next on SmackDown, backstage, we would see Chelsea Green and Piper Niven trying to figure out what happened in their match that they lost, and then Michin and B-Fab would come in and let them know how they lost because the numbers were even, and Piper Niven couldn't get involved, and Michin would break the news to Chelsea Green that General Manager Nick Aldis has given her another shot at that Women's United States Championship, as she will be taking on the champion Chelsea Green on next week's Friday Night SmackDown. Then guys, next up after this, we would see our next match of the evening, as we would see Johnny Gargano go one-on-one versus Apollo Crews after he attacked Apollo backstage last week for Apollo putting DIY's name in his mouth and getting into their business. And in this matchup, guys, we would see an assist from Motor City Machine Guns after Johnny and Apollo went back and forth, but Apollo caught Johnny Wrestling slipping and gets the victory here, upsetting Johnny Gargano in this match thanks to the distraction and assist by the Motor City Machine Guns, who came out walking down the ramp, and as Johnny and Ciampa were more busy looking at them, Apollo Crews took advantage and got the victory. And guys, I'm gonna give this match here a C. I thought it was actually pretty good, but just a little short, so maybe a little bit more impressive if we got to see the match go a little bit longer, but I give it a solid C. I thought it was pretty good. Nice to see Apollo Crews back competing very, very well on Friday Night SmackDown as well. Then guys, next up, we would have our next match of Friday Night SmackDown, as we would see LA Knight go one-on-one with Tama Tonga. And with Jacob Fatu at ringside, you know LA Knight was going to let them both know that he's there to handle business and give them a BFT while he's at it, as we would see a very good back and forth matchup in this one. Tama Tonga really impressed, but LA Knight hits the BFT and he gets the victory here in this one, as blunt force trauma really knocks out Tama Tonga. But of course, after the victory, we would see Jacob Fatu get involved here and would attack LA Knight, and after that, we would get a little assist from the friend of LA Knight, Braun Strowman, as the big SOB comes out to confront Jacob Fatu, who he faces at Saturday night's main event. Can't wait to see that match. And man, this standoff was epic, as the crowd there got going crazy before Tama Tonga pulled Jacob Fatu out of the ring, stopping this confrontation from between these two beasts. And guys, for this particular match, I definitely got to give it an A. Next on SmackDown, we would see backstage The Miz still trying to get some friends after that advice from General Manager Nick Aldis earlier in his office, saying you might want to find you some friends, because now he's on Friday Night SmackDown with the Wyatt Six also being on Friday Night SmackDown. So he talks to A-Town Down Under, but General Manager Nick Aldis comes in as he's starting to make friends with them to let them know that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are going and moving to Monday Night Raw's roster, and they're pumped up about that, with The Miz losing his mind, not knowing what to do. But we also see later on the night that Miz was still trying to make friends on SmackDown as he was talking to Andrade, but Andrade didn't look like he had any interest at all as well. But then guys, after this, we also see a video promo from Shinsuke Nakamura as he's declaring himself for the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match, as the United States Champion wants to make his legacy even bigger and get a shot at the main event at WrestleMania. Then guys, next up after this, we would see Carmelo Hayes versus Damian Priest in our next match on Friday Night SmackDown, and Damian Priest's first match on the Blue brand, as he has been acquired by Friday Night SmackDown, and he would put up an epic matchup in this one, defeating Carmelo Hayes in his first match. And guys, I gotta give this match a B, as it was very competitive back and forth. Carmelo Hayes continues to improve and look very impressive inside the ring with his in-ring capability and his athleticism, and Damian Priest is definitely one of those legit WWE superstars, and I think he's gonna be a great addition for Friday Night SmackDown's roster. Then guys, next up after this, we would see Damian Priest run into Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, backstage, and we all know Damian Priest wants to get right back into the championship picture, and he'll look to do that at the Men's 2025 Royal Rumble match as well. Then guys, next up on Friday Night SmackDown, we would see backstage that DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns are having a conversation, a heated one, with General Manager Nick Aldis, and Motor City Machine Guns are smiling, saying, "Hey Nick, Can we break the news to him, man? We really want to. Okay, hey guys, just wanted to let you know that the Motor City Machine Guns now have another shot at your WWE Tag Team titles, and we're gonna face you guys at the Royal Rumble in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And DIY is pissed off and they can't believe it. Then on SmackDown, we would see Jimmy Uso walking by The Miz, who was trying to get Andrade to be his friend, and it's not working out as Jimmy just shakes his head at The Miz, but continues to walk and runs into Carmelo Hayes, who has beef with Jimmy, saying, hey, you're gonna need more than 4 moves to defeat Kevin Owens. And Jimmy would clap right back saying, oh really? Well, I'm only gonna need 3 of them to defeat you next week on Friday Night SmackDown. Yeet. And then Jimmy Uso would walk out to the ring for the main event match on Friday Night SmackDown as Jimmy Uso goes one-on-one with Kevin Owens. But Carmelo Hayes would attack Jimmy Uso as he's walking down the ramp, a cheap shot of sorts from Carmelo Hayes, but Jimmy Uso would fight right back until security came and separated these two, and then we would see Kevin Owens come out to get this main event match started. And guys, we would see an epic back and forth matchup. Man, the brutality from Kevin Owens. He definitely looks ready for the Royal Rumble where he will be in a ladder match. And man, Jimmy Uso definitely showed off his athleticism and in-ring ability as both of these guys put on a show in the main event match. And we would see KO get the victory in this one, but he would not stop there as he attacks Jimmy Uso after the match, trying to use that pile driver move once again. But the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, was not going to let that happen to his friend Jimmy Uso as he runs out to the ring to confront Kevin Owens and fight and fight and fight as these two would continue to beat the living hell out of each other until the show went off. And guys, I cannot wait to see Saturday night's main event where we will see a contract moderation by Shawn Michaels for the contract to be signed for Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship in a ladder match. And guys, this has been your WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit me up in the comments on what you guys thought of this WWE Friday Night SmackDown on January 24th, 2025 in Austin, Texas. And guys, also hit me up in the comments on what you think about this WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show, this sports entertainment YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you, WWE Universe and wrestling fans around the world. Hope you guys love it. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, guys, from Tim Reynolds Show. Let's fucking go.